supplementary question can lie. Mr. Speaker, we cannot lock ourselves in a certain interpretation that would make politics a difficult venture here. Mr. Speaker, we are asking a political question. And if he himself has put a matter out, you say that because it was not contained in the original question, we cannot.
Whenever I say ma PENDREAM TV there, I say them yupo.
Honourable members, I use the opportunity to very well. If you are up, I'll give you the floor.
Speaker, with respect, the Honourable Minister just informed Parliament that this exercise will be at no cost to the consumer. I'm using his words. The subscriber, the ordinary Ghanaian, in other words. Mr. Speaker, that said, can he say the same for the states? Whether it would also be at no cost to the states, and whether no procurement will be involved in respect to this matter, since he himself has given us one explanation regarding costs.
Honourable Minority Leader, with all due respect, I'll humbly disallow your question unless it is rephrased. It doesn't relate to the original question. The rules are clear.
Speaker, I don't want to be seen to be having back and forth with you. So I will go by your directive to rephrase. At the dispatch box, the minister himself just informed Parliament that this registration will be at no cost to the subscriber. I want to know from him whether there will be any cost at all to be incurred by the state.
The question that was asked is to the effect that why the ministry is now planning entirely new biometric SIM registration exercise from scratch. This question has completely nothing to do with costs. Asking questions relating to costs, offense standing order 89(1) of our rules book. Accordingly, the question is overruled.
Speaker, without challenging you, let me read 89 in its entirety. Speaker, 89(1) provides, quote, as soon as a question is answered, any member beginning with a member who asks the question may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter of fact on the answer, but a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question.
That is where the emphasis is.
Mr. Speaker, may I finish with respect? I passed my law exam, and in this chamber, I have worked. So please, Mr. Speaker, allow me. 2, the member who asked a question may be allowed to ask no more than 3 supplementary questions on the substantive question. 3, any other member may be allowed to ask no more than 2 supplementary questions, except that the majority and minority leaders or co-leaders may each ask no more than 5 supplementary questions on the substantive question. So, Mr. Speaker, construing 81, 1, 2, and 3, 89, 1, 2, and 3, in their ordinary meaning, the ordinary meaning, I'm not going into secondary meaning, any interpretation, the ordinary meaning of this provision is that when a question is answered by the minister, the answer thereto can give rise to a supplementary question. Mr. Speaker, on this occasion, the Minister of State at the dispatch box is telling the nation that the subscribers will not incur any cost. The question is, if he says that subscribers will not incur any cost, will there be any cost to the state? Mr. Speaker, this is related. It cannot be that, Mr. Speaker, this is an entirely new question, therefore it does not come within the remit of 89(1). Mr. Speaker, it is the minister's answer. I am not coming out with a question out of nothing. That is his answer. And Mr. Speaker, are we arguing here that when a minister gives an answer, you cannot ask your question based on the answer? Mr. Speaker, it is not me who is introducing that new matter. It is the minister's answer which is introducing a new matter. And once a minister's answer introduces a new matter, a supplementary question can lie. Mr. Speaker, we cannot lock ourselves in a certain interpretation that would make politics a difficult venture here. Mr. Speaker, we are asking a political question. And if he himself has put a matter out, you say that because it was not contained in the original question, we cannot ask a supplementary question. But, Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. Let's be clear. The question is not coming out of nothing. It is based on his answer. And if you read 89(1) clearly, again, it says, a supplementary question for further clarification on any matter of fact on the answer. But a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. So, Mr. Speaker, we are not asking anything not included in the original question. I am asking a supplementary question anchoring same on his own answer. And the rules allow. The rules allow, Mr. Speaker. The rules allow.
Honorable members, if you look at Standing Order 89, there is a foreclosure to the effect that but a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. This has nothing to do with the answer. That is why I refer to the original question asked. We shouldn't use the opportunity to again offend Standing Order 88(7). Unless the standing order is revised, I'm to use it the way it is. So the House can take a decision to revise same. Yes, Majority Leader. Majority Leader. Majority Leader, you were on your feet. You look different. What are you look different?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was of the same view as the minority leader that when a minister answers questions, if in answering the question the minister veers into other areas and makes statements of facts to this House, my personal view has always been that that minister opens himself or herself up to further questioning on the new facts that the minister has introduced, because this is the House of Records, and so we are interested. That was my view, and we argued it extensively in this chamber some time ago. And Speaker gave a ruling, the same ruling that he's given today, that we should pay attention to the terms of the order, the rules. The rules state clearly that the supplementary question can ask for clarification of facts introduced in the answer, except that it cannot ask about a matter that is not captured in the original question. So that is the position that the Speaker holds on the matter. I looked at it, and I do agree with the Speaker that he is right on that. But Mr. Speaker, I plead with you that on this occasion, the minister wants to answer the question. So I plead with you to allow the minister to answer the question.
As a matter of fact, I owe fidelity to the rules, but not to any plea.
Mr. Speaker, I would argue no more. Let me proceed with my questions.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, if you may permit me, Mr. Speaker, this is a public interest matter. The nation embarked on some registration exercise. The minister came to the House and told the House that it's at no cost to the ordinary Ghanaian.
You see, Honorable Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude.
I also don't
Mr.
like
Speaker,
what
I'm
is
not
happening.
going to over-challenge you, but please bear with me.
I draw an attention to Order 88.7. So we don't want any argument.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not
don't
arguing
want any
with you.
statement. We don't want
Okay,
any
very well.
opinion.
Let me proceed. It's okay.
Yes, so
let
proceed.
me proceed with my questions. Mr. Speaker, at page 33, of the order paper, I am referring to the second and third paragraphs. Quote, Mr. Speaker, the previous exercise aimed to ensure that all SIM cards are linked to verified identities through biometric validation against the National Identification Authority database. However, the biometric information collected during the exercise was not checked against the NIA database, allowing some individuals to register SIM cards using false, stolen, or unverifiable identities. Mr. Speaker, my question is, can the minister tell us the number of those who have been identified as having used false, stolen, and unverifiable identities in respect of the very matter he has raised in this very paragraph I have quoted supra?
Honorable Minority Leader, this question is not different from the first one that you have asked. And I will again relate to the original question, to ask the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation why the ministry is now planning an entirely new biometric SIM registration exercise from scratch.
Mr. Speaker,
so
Mr.
if you
Speaker,
want
Mr. Speaker,
the
with
number,
respect, Mr. Speaker, with respect, you've spoken. Please let me also speak. Mr. Speaker, have you paid attention to page 33? No, I'm asking because this is where I quoted. Mr. Speaker, I quoted the minister's answer. Mr. Speaker, respect. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I would want to refer you to page 33. I would want to refer you to page 33 of the order paper. The minister's own answer. I'm quoting again the first paragraph of that page. Mr. Speaker, I quote, Mr. Speaker, and this is the answer. Mr. Speaker, the previous exercise aimed to ensure that all SIM cards are linked to verified identities through biometric validation against the National Identification Authority database. However, the biometric information collected during the exercise was not checked against the NIA database, allowing some individuals to register SIM cards using false, stolen, or unverifiable identities. Mr. Speaker, based on this answer, based on this particular paragraph, I am asking the Honorable Minister whether or not he has the total number of those who use false, stolen, or unverifiable identities for the registration. And if so, he should provide us with a number. It is his answer.
With all due respect, the question is not included in the original question. And with permission, if I may read the original question again. To ask the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation why the ministry is now planning an entirely new biometric SIM registration exercise from scratch. Why? That is what the question is saying. And the rule says the supplementary question must relate to the original question. That is why I'm always adventing your mind to the original question.
Mr. Speaker, very well. Mr. Speaker, the original question provides at 822, the original question, Mr. Speaker, 822, this is what it says. To ask the Minister for Communication and Digital Technology and Innovations why the ministry is now planning an entirely new biometric SIM registration exercise from scratch. Mr. Speaker, based on this question, the minister tells us that one of the reasons why they are beginning from scratch is because some people use false, stolen, and unverifiable identities in the registration. So I want to ask the minister that based on the fact that these irregularities have led to their starting from the scratch, can he provide the total number of those who use false, stolen, or unverifiable identities, which has resulted in their starting from a scratch?
Honourable members, I must indicate that the rules are there to prevent the minister being taken by surprise. So if your question is about those irregularities, a specific question will enable the minister to search, to get those informations and bring it to the House. But that cannot be taken as a supplementary question. You see, a question to a minister is not an examination to the minister.
I've not said so. Mr. Speaker, first of all, you've said something on record, and I need to correct that. There are no surprises embedded in my question. And I agree with you that 89 was framed to avoid surprises, and we all agree. Mr. Speaker, you said that the question must have a nexus with the original question, and that's exactly what I'm seeking to do. Mr. Speaker, the questioner wants to know why the biometric SIM registration exercise is being commenced from scratch. The minister says that they are commencing from scratch because some people used false, stolen, and unverifiable identities. Mr. Speaker, so I am connecting his answer to the question. And based on the very question, I'm asking the Honorable Minister whether
Honorable Minority Leader, the question is overruled.
I've not finished the question. How can you overrule? I've not finished.
Because you seem to be repeating yourself.
I'm
holding not to overrule the question.
Mr. Speaker,
but
Mr. Speaker,
it seems that is what
I am not repeating
for.
myself, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the minimum, I know my rules. In the minimum, I know my rules. I'm not repeating myself. You may disagree with me, but don't use words that will be demeaning to me. You can overrule me. I don't mind. It won't be the first. It won't be the last. But I won't accept certain words being used to connect to your ruling. I won't accept it. With the greatest respect to you, sir. With greatest respect to you, sir. I've not finished the question. I've not finished the question. Mr. Speaker, the minister says that some people used false, stolen, and unverifiable identities, which resulted Mr. Speaker, the minister at page 33 tells us that some people use false, stolen, and unverifiable identities in their registration, leading to the policy decision by the ministry to start SIM re-registration at scratch. What I want to know from the minister is that can he provide us with the total number of those who use false, stolen, or unverifiable identities in the registration?
Yes, Honorable respected minority leader, I state over and over that if you are looking for a total number of those irregularities, it's a matter for the minister to verify and come and answer. So therefore, this must be a substantive question to the minister, but not a supplementary question. That has been my ruling. Majority Leader, you have the floor. Yes, Majority Leader.
Honorable colleagues, honorable colleagues, I think if we listen to each other, we will be able to resolve this problem. The question is, why fresh SIM registration? That's fundamentally what the question is. And the supplementary question of the minority leader is, your answer is that the reason why you are doing SIM registration is because in the earlier one, some people use fake identities, okay? And the question that the minority leader is asking is, what numbers of people registering use fake identities, okay? Speaker is saying that that question requires the minister to do some research and gather the data for you. No, that's what the speaker is saying. The speaker is saying that information to provide that answer is not likely to be readily available, and therefore as a substantive question. So I plead with everybody. We sit here, minority leader, please, at our level when we are talking, let's listen to each other. We sit here and the authority of the speaker, whether we are happy with the ruling or we are not happy with the ruling, we must respect the authority of a speaker, whether we are happy or not happy. This same position, you and I argued it vociferously the last time, but the speaker ruled against both of us. We're not happy with the ruling, but we live with it. To tell you, please, to tell you the truth, my personal view is that, when a minister comes here and provides answers and mentions facts in those answers, we are entitled to ask him for follow-up supplementary questions on it. That's my personal view. But the speaker has given a ruling based on the wording of our rules. And so let us respect that ruling and then move on. So minority leader, please, if you can reframe your question, reframe it. Speaker has disallowed it. But threatening to walk out is not good. Jerry, don't walk out.
So,
Jerry, don't walk out.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Jerry, you know that we are making arrangements for the flood victims in your constituency.
Honorable Majority Leader, it's been said that sometimes you make mistake to solve a problem. I am happy that the very essence of my ruling has been understood. Because if you are asking the minister to give you the specific numbers of those who use stolen identity to do SIM registration, this is a matter of fact that the minister must look through the record to come and give you the answer. But if the insistence is that the minister should say so, I'll give the floor to the minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, we are grateful for your leadership. May you live long. Right Honourable Minister, the ministry will work with the regulator and furnish this House with the full details in due course. Thank you.
Yes, any other supplementary question?
Speaker, may I know from the Honorable Minister that this whole exercise, which according to him is going to commence afresh because of all the irregularities identified, can he tell us the cost implications to government?
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, that was a question asked by Honorable Patrick Yao Boama, and that question has been overruled. So I don't expect this question from you. They can. Honorable Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, thank you very much for attending upon the House to respond to the questions slated for you. Honorable Minister, you are accordingly discharged. Yes, Majority Leader.
Now you can come back. Come for another one. Ken must come. Ken must come. Ken must come.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we will now invite the Governor of the Central Bank. First, we will convert into a committee of the whole.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very
for the
well.
Purpose of,
yes, in view of that, I will call on the Marshal to clear the gallery. But before then, let me acknowledge the presence of Fadius International School.
Let's do the committee of the whole and finish, then we can, yeah.
So just to acknowledge them, because they will clear the gallery.
Okay.
They are led by Abubakar Yunus Baba, a teacher. They are also from Madina, the number 79. So on behalf of the House, you are welcome to Parliament of Ghana, and may you have a fruitful visit to Parliament. Yes, Committee of the Whole.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. There are some questions asked of the Governor of the Central Bank. The Governor is here, but the questioner is not here. So, Mr. Speaker, if you can give your ruling on the matter, we can proceed.
I will, on this occasion, ask the Governor to take the designated seat.